Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about potentially there being a fusion unit of SSJ4 Goku and Vegeta that fuses in to an SSJ4 Gogeta, and probably along with it a dual Dokkan Fest of a transforming Shin or Sin Shenron, however you want to say it, into a Mega Shenron. Now if you're wondering how do you know this, it's not guaranteed yet for the worldwide celebration, but it's looking incredibly likely, and here's why. So over on iSeriously's Twitter, which I think he's a French data miner, but he's an incredibly reliable data miner. Like, a lot of the stuff he's put out in the past has been spot on. I mean, that's no surprise with 42.9k followers, am I right? So the other day there was a poll by this Twitter account here about, I think, were they rappers? Yeah, I think that means rappers in French. And I seriously said, if Damso, which I think is this guy here, I mean, my guy looks suave as hell. Damn, where'd you get your shades from, dude? My guy's got drip. Yeah, he said if this, I think this guy won, which he did. There you go, 50.2%. Then he will reveal what the next Dokkan Fest is on JP. So this has nothing to do with Global, but the worldwide celebration, of course, is a joint celebration between Global and JP, as it's always been. The next Dokkan Fest on JP is going to be a transforming baby unit. This is what this GIF is here. Can't remember exactly what scene this is from, but I mean, you can tell it's baby by the lines on his head, the white eyebrows, the lines in his eyes. Yeah, this is baby. There's a transforming baby on the way for JP, which, by the way, is dope anyway. I know a lot of people wanted a new baby unit because we don't really have many of them. We have the LR, and then you have the Int unit. The Int unit's just not good, and then the LR is still very, very good. Now you can eventually, global players, so, you know, mark your calendars, eventually we'll have a transforming baby unit on Dokkan as well on the global side, which is dope. I mean, especially a transforming one. I've wanted a baby unit for a while. Could link in with the you know, the AGO LR. I think that's dope. That's dope. That's along the way. So yeah, and the reason why you're probably sitting there thinking, well, what does that mean for worldwide? Like, how do you know a Gogeta's coming? It's not definite that we're getting a, you know, a fusion SSJ4 Goku and Vegeta unit and the Shenron, but it's looking incredibly likely. It's going to be GT themed, with baby being the next Dokkan Fest on JP. Is going into the worldwide celebration. It's definitely incredibly likely. So, you know, I think in the next few days is when JP will get their Dokkan Fest, and of course next month at the end of August, that's when the worldwide celebration units will drop. I think they usually drop between the 27th and the 29th. So one thing I will say to global players is, with that TOP banner out, that top legendary summon banner, if you have any stones left and you have the 2 year 6 units, or you have one of them out of Goku and Vegeta, it's probably best that you start saving now, you know, or, you know, pick up the rest of the stones from this celebration and start saving immediately as soon as the celebration's done, because, you know, I know what I want to be summoning for. Let's just put it, you know, let's just put it that way. But yeah, it's probably best to start saving now, especially with them more stones coming in, you know, the rest of the celebration. You can get a decent amount of stones going into the worldwide celebration as well to summon for these units. So while it's not confirmed that those are the units that will be out for worldwide celebration, it's incredibly likely. The reason why I say this is all those years ago, on when they used to call it download celebration, but they don't call it that anymore, they call it the worldwide celebration. All those years ago, what did we get? We got an SSJ4 Gogeta and then a Mega Shenron dual Dokkan Fest. I can't remember what year it was, but it was a few years ago. It was at least 3, I think it was about 2-3 years ago, something like that. I think it was at least 3. We've got a Gogeta and a Shenron. So all these years later on the worldwide celebration, especially with a Dokkan Fest transforming baby, which is GT themed, coming to JP, it only makes sense going into the worldwide celebration for that GT theme to continue. And then, of course, what's the only thing that makes sense? You know, in terms of SSJ4s, they've pretty much done all they can with literally individual units. Not to mention it's a dual Dokkan Fest, and there's nothing else in GT that you can have. You know, especially with their, you know, you could have said, oh, maybe a transforming baby with a transforming GT Goku into SSJ4 Goku. JP's getting a you know, a baby Dokkan Fest. So what does that leave for a dual Dokkan Fest worldwide? A Gogeta and a Shenron, the two hypest units from GT, pretty much. And you know, in terms of how they do them, they're probably not going to do a standalone Gogeta unit again, because Global only, in terms of the timeline, we quite recently got one, at the beginning of the year, or at the end of last year. Was it the beginning of the year, end of last year? I think it was the beginning of the year. I think it was January, February time. Global got the SSJ4 Gogeta. So then probably not going to do another standalone one. There's two already. And as I said, Global only recently got one in terms of the timeline. We got one at the beginning of the year. So, and they typically save the hype units for the hype celebrations. So it's looking incredibly likely and pointing towards an SSJ4 Goku and Vegeta that fuse into SSJ4 Gogeta. Of course, to match that in a dual Dokkan Fest, a transforming Shenron. So it's looking likely. While that's not confirmed yet, it's looking likely. I know there's a Reddit post from a while ago now that talks about that. I don't remember where it is, and I can't remember how old it is. But it was a while ago now. And that spoke about a potential Gogeta and Shenron. Specifically an SSJ4 Goku Vegeta into Gogeta and a Shenron for worldwide. And now this, so it's looking incredibly likely that's going to happen. If you can find the Reddit post, then fair enough. If not, then I can't remember where it is. Like it was a while ago now. But in terms of when that celebration drops, another thing I want to mention is with those celebrations, Easy A's usually come around. So maybe we could be seeing an Easy A on the old Tech SSJ4 Gogeta, which would be insane, and the old Fizz Shenron that went with him. Or maybe they could Easy A, they probably won't Easy A the LR SSJ4s yet. Maybe we could see an Easy A for full power SSJ4 Goku, but I think more likely it will be one of, if not both of these old Gogeta and Shenron units. Which is dope, because recently, Dokkan's track record for Easy A's has been pretty good. LR Gohan's on JP was a little bit lackluster, but he got what he needed, which is defense. These two need defense, actually there's no defense in their passive. But their Easy A's could be really, really good. And imagine having the option for an LR SSJ4 Goku and Vegeta run on the same team. With either an Easy A Gogeta or the Ink Gogeta. I think that'd be kind of dope. So yeah, these two might be getting Easy A's in that celebration as well. So do look out for that. But as I said, what I will say to you global players is if you have one of the Year 6 units, Goku or Vegeta, or you have both, and you're thinking about summoning on the TOP banner, or you have summoned on it, and you have no stones left, or even if you do have stones left, now is probably the time to start saving. Get the rest of the stones from the celebration and save. As I said, the worldwide celebration units typically drop between the 27th and I think the 29th of August. So we have a month, literally just a month of saving. So regardless if you have stones or not, at the end of Year 6, or right now, shall I say, start saving. If you're thinking about summoning that TOP banner, it's probably best if you don't, especially if you're a free-to-play player. You don't put any money into the game at all. It's probably best if you start saving now, especially if you've got one of those Year 6 units. Take what you have and run, and save the rest of your stones that you're going to get from Year 6. Take it into Worldwide Celebration for a transforming SSJ4 Gogeta unit, or a fusion SSJ4 Gogeta unit specifically. Because I know what, as I said, I know what I'd rather summon for. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's probably best if you start saving now. Start saving, even if you don't have stones. Start saving from the rest of the celebration now. Do probably your best bet. I'm not going to tell you not to summon on it. Your best bet is probably not summoning on the TOP banner. So yeah, that being said, with JP getting transformed Baby Dokkan Fest, let me know what you think about potentially there being an SSJ4 or a fusion SSJ4 Goku and Vegeta unit into Gogeta. A transforming Shenron coming for Worldwide Celebration. Are you hyped? Do you want something else? Are you going to be summoning on it? I mean, I think a lot of you will be. You let me know what you think down in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.